Welcome to The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on all things IPW. I am the voice of Independence Pro Wrestling, J-Rod. There were a lot of question marks going into Heat as Josh Raymond's recent title win plunged IPW into chaos. The event started off with a match between IPW newcomer Hexus 3 and the Colonel of Clapping Cheeks, LaDon Sanders. Hexus 3 was just as mean and nasty as the other two, but ultimately got his cheeks clapped by the Colonel. How many Hexuses are there though? And how nasty are these guys going to be when they're all together at once? As mentioned earlier, Josh Raymond won the IPW Michiana Championship in two shocking upsets over both Jimmy Shalwin and TDG in Aftermath. Raymond came out to gloat, but was quickly interrupted by Jimmy Shalwin. Hype, pissed about the way things went last weekend, issued a challenge in the main event. His contract did include a rematch clause, so Josh Raymond had no choice but to accept. Women's top contender Mackenzie Black made a huge impact at Aftermath by beating former champion Thunder Kitty LaFleur. Black competed again, this time against IPW newcomer Storm Garcon. A great athlete, Garcon got the fans behind her early and looked like she was on her way to an upset until Thunder Kitty LaFleur attacked her, causing the match to be thrown out. To everyone's surprise, the Honey Badger, Lil Missy, sprinted to ringside to aid Garcon. The former Golden Initiative Project member must be looking for some new allies. This caused an impromptu tag team match that was ultimately won by LaFleur and Black. I have been told that their unlikely alliance is due to Mackenzie Black making a promise to Thunder Kitty that if Black wins the title from Stella Buho, LaFleur will get the first crack at it. Brutus Dillon is on a mission right now to show everyone that if he isn't given what he feels he deserves, then he will just take what he wants. At Aftermath, he came up short in a triple threat match for the IPW title against Chad Alpha and LaDon Sanders. Dillon brutalized Sanders after the match in frustration. Former pro basketball player Darius Littrell confronted Dillon in the ring and called him out for bullying a man less than half his size. Littrell questioned what Brutus would do against a man big enough to look him eye to eye. Dillon accepted the match, and it was power versus power from the moment the bell rang. It looked as if Littrell had Dillon's number and was on his way to a huge victory in his first IPW singles match. But Dillon distracted the ref and landed a low blow that would be enough to get a pin. Brutus Dillon escaped the upset by the skin of his teeth, and Darius Littrell showed that he is one of the top new signees in IPW. Returning Theo Storm, Uper J. Lee, former GIP member Anderson Knight, and hometown boy Mondo Real clashed in a four-way contest. Maybe the best match of the night, Anderson Knight kept his momentum going with the big win. One half of the IPW Tag Team Champions, Bendrick Bison, went one-on-one with Dragon Jones. House Bison is going out of their way to not defend the tag team titles, something that management should get a hold of before it really becomes an issue. Bison had Jones beat until a well-timed reversal by Jones that caused a flash pinfall victory for Jones. Big Jorge took on Invictus in a match that was interrupted when Dragon Jones came down to attack Invictus. Then, Big Jorge attacked Dragon Jones, and then all three men started fighting each other. This thing between Invictus and Jones may never end, and now they've got Big Jorge involved. Former interim Michiana champion, the Hype, Jimmy Shalwin, faced off with the new Michiana champion, Josh Raymond, in our main event. It was clear that Raymond's strategy was to cause as much noise and chaos as possible so that he could once again use the chain wrapped around his fist without risking disqualification. He agitated the fans, jumped in and out of the ring, and really made the referee work until he found his moment and clocked Jimmy Shalwin in the chin with the chain behind the ref's back for the win and successful title defense. After Josh Raymond left ringside, referee Chris came to the realization that for the third time in a row, Josh Raymond was able to pull a fast one on Chris's watch. And that caused management to launch an investigation into whether or not Chris is still a competent referee. Management has decided to place Chris under mandatory leave while they evaluate him. That concludes this edition of The Insider. Join us this Saturday in Lansing, Michigan as IPW presents Uprising.